Hello lovely humans. I bring you some Haikyuu fluff. Enjoy.
A few weeks had passed by since your first encounter with Daichi. You both exchanged good mornings, Hazen, how has your day been, but nothing about meeting up or personal information. Let's be realistic, you're both strangers that live worlds apart. Still, that didn't seem to stop his friends from teasing him. You mean to tell us that you got their number but haven't seen each other in how long? 2 weeks. And you text them every day. Yeah, so, are you worried about Nishinoya finding out? Why would I be worried about her? She's just a friend, so I doubt she'll mind with whom I hang out with. They all sigh, seeing as Daichi was being oblivious. He isn't oblivious when it comes to the people around him expressing their emotions, but when it comes to him and his relationships, he tends to be a little dense. And I thought Asahi was dense. What's that supposed to mean? Have you texted them today? Just a good morning. We tend to text after school if we're not busy. Boring. Why not text them now? They're probably in class. You know their schedule. Not really. Then stop assuming and text them. Guys please, they're probably busy and shouldn't be disturbed, besides we have to go to practice now, so let's head to the gym and start warming up. They sigh at his response but still obey their captain's orders. Admittedly Daichi wanted to text you, he just didn't know what to talk about. Sure, there were 1,000 things he didn't know about you and wanted to learn, but he didn't know where to start. Adding the pressure of his friends didn't help either. Nevertheless, he thought of possible things to talk about once practice was over. On the other hand, you were having a very normal day. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary and your friends didn't know about Daichi, or as you call him, Sawamura. You checked your phone a couple of times but the same good morning text stared back at you. You sigh as you begin to walk home and wonder what type of person Sawamura is. As you made a turn you felt your phone vibrate in your pocket. Coincidentally you had an unread message from the person you were thinking about. Private messages with YN.
Hey, how's your day been?
Good. I got the results from the project you helped me out.
You remember the funny encounter as you typed the message. Admittedly you thought you were going to get a bad grade but you passed with an above average score.
Oh no, did you fail?
Nope. I can't thank you enough for your help.
You debated whether or not you should go out with him to celebrate. Nothing special, but something among acquaintances or friends. If he even viewed you as a friend. You saw that he had read your message and was hoping to get a generic, "That's amazing," or, "No need to thank me, I'm just glad you passed." However, it took him a while to respond. It took Daichi a while to respond because while you were texting he was still with his team. Practice had just ended and he still felt a little pressure to text you, that's why he started the conversation. However, once he was going to respond to your message he felt someone looking over his shoulder. He already had typed out, "It was no trouble, I'm glad I could help." However, he hadn't sent it over because of Sugawara's disapproving sigh. You're seriously not going to send that, right? Suga, why are you snooping? Oh ho ho ho, Captain is texting his crush right now. Now look at what you started. They're not my crush. Captain has a crush. On who? The stranger we met a couple of weeks ago at the restaurant. Oh, Boke, let him be. If he says it's not their crush we should respect his opinion. Wow, the king cares about the captain's feelings. Wonder why. Guess he does have feelings besides anger. What were you planning on texting them? It's clear Suga doesn't agree. I was going to say that I'm glad they could pass the assignment, I was able to help out. Well, that could be fixed if you asked them out to celebrate. Yeah, it could get things going if you're not sure what your status is, and we can join you if they seem uncomfortable of it being a one-on-one situation. Isn't this the fan we met? Wouldn't they just keep texting Daichi for fame? Well, I've asked them if they talk about us at school and they claim that nobody from their school knows we've met, unless they don't have friends. They've sent me a picture of their friend whenever they mention a name. Since they know how all of you look, it's not weird to mention your names. You talk about us with them. Well yeah, they know the good, bad and funny things you've done over the last 2 weeks, and I know how their days have been in exchange, hence how was your day? Okay, we'll get back to that later. You've just let them on read for the last couple minutes, so you might want to text them back before you give the wrong image. Wait, so you want me to ask them to go out and celebrate? That would be ideal, and if they seem unsure we'll tag along, seeing as they haven't talked to their friends about meeting us. Private messages with YN.
Sorry for leaving you on read. I was finishing up practice. Say, would you like to go out and celebrate your grade?
Oh don't. I thought you got busy suddenly. I don't know. When would you like to go out, and would it be just the two of us or do you want me to invite people? I haven't told anyone about us meeting, so it might sound unexpected to my friends.
Well, I could ask the guys if we have something and they could tag along if it'll make you feel comfortable.
Sure. Do you have anything in mind?
The whole planning was last minute. Nevertheless, Daichi talked to the team and they were able to set up a small gathering with the team and managers. You agreed to go there with your best friend and hoped for the best. Saturday night. Of course, Tanaka and Noya were hosting the party and it had everything you'd expect. Your friend was a little skeptical but regardless they were supportive. Once you made it to the location where the party was being held you knocked on the door and were greeted by Kyoko. Hello, you must be YN.
Hello, I'm assuming you're Kyoko.
Yes, the boys mentioned you were coming. You brought a guest.
Hope that's alright?
Of course, the more the merrier. You walked through the door and you and your friend looked around. Of course your friend was able to see the food stand in an instant and turned to you with that look. You sighed knowing what they were talking about and nodded as they walked away from you. Even though they don't typically act this way at parties they were a little hungry so they had their priorities. Once they left you felt someone's hand on your shoulder. Who's your friend?
Oh Sugawara, nice to meet you. That's BSF's name. I thought it would be alright if they'd tag along.
Of course, whatever makes you feel comfortable around us. So, have you talked to Daichi? He asked as if he had been waiting for your arrival or wanted to get some information out of you. Either way you had a gut feeling that there was something he wanted to talk to you about. He just didn't know if it was the right time.
No? I just got here. Is he around?
I think I saw him with Asahi a few minutes ago. He shouldn't be that far, he says and you smiled before leaving his side. Yes, you passed Tanaka and Noya as well who were eyeing your best friend and you happened to hear the famous comment. Damn, I've never seen two pretty best friends. You mentally laughed as you made your way to the couch where Enoshita, Kinnoshita and Narita were sitting. It seemed like they were drinking something and talking about a card game. You didn't recognize the game so you turned your attention to find Daichi. You entered the kitchen and to your surprise that's where you were able to find Asahi with Hinata and Yamaguchi. I'm not sure if mixing all the sodas are a good thing. What are you talking about? The flavor will be sweet and irresistible. Besides we're not adding a catalyst so it can't explode. Yeah, we aren't using a magic book for that.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt but have any of you seen Sawamura?
Sawamura. They are referring to Daichi. I think he's outside with Kageyama and Tsukishima. Yeah, probably asking to keep the name calling to a minimum. I can show you where they are.
Thanks and Hinata stay away from mints with those cans of sodas.
Huh, alright. You followed Yamaguchi to the yard where you saw Daichi, Tsukishima and Kageyama having a conversation. You waited for them to end their conversation and looked at Yamaguchi who was also looking at them.
How long have they been talking?
Not long but I thought they would have ended sooner. As if it were on cue, Tsukishima and Kageyama walked away from Daichi and you made your way towards him. You knew you were going to say hi but didn't exactly know where the conversation would go from there.
Hey, am I interrupting something?
YN, hey, oh that, they were in an argument and it might have gotten a little heated. Sometimes I feel like I'm parenting them.
Well, you are their captain so it's normal for you to be a parental figure.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Do you want to head inside?
Could we talk first?
He eyed you confused at the sudden statement. Even though there isn't much context as to why you'd want to talk to Daichi alone, it was important to make progress. You both have been talking for 2 weeks and it wasn't until now that he decided to meet up with you.
Sure. What do you want to talk about?
I feel stuck, in a loop if that makes sense. We text good morning and in the afternoon we talk about our day, but I feel like…
You don't know who I really am. I know because I feel the same way about you, and the funny thing is that I'm scared of texting you out of the loop we've indirectly established.
I don't mind if you text me during class, but I want us to get to know each other better. Everything feels superficial and I don't like that.
I don't mind you calling me Daichi, you know. I know it's courtesy for you to be using my last name, but all my friends call me Daichi so maybe that could be our first step.
You felt a little flustered at where the conversation was going. Sure, he calls you by your name but you assumed it might be easier to call you that than your last name. Either way you mentally agreed to call him Daichi from now on.
Alright Daichi, would you perhaps be interested in going out with me sometime? It doesn't have to be romantic and there are no strings attached.
As friends?
As friends.
Then I don't see why not.
You both had another conversation afterwards about where you'd like to go out and how would that look like. Even if there are no strings attached you still wanted to have a good time with your new friend. Afterwards you both headed inside to see your best friend dancing with Tanaka and Nishinoya. Of course they were jamming to the most iconic song which is where you decided that it would be the start of the best night of your life.
Hello?
Hey, I hope I'm not interrupting something.
Not at all. What's up?
Oh, you know the usual, you?
Same old, same old.
We're pretty bad at communicating, huh?
I guess so, but I don't blame us.
Oh? And why is that?
Given the circumstances it's the first time we've talked over the phone. I'm assuming we don't want to say the wrong thing.
Guilty I suppose. It's weird because we text a lot around this hour.
Yeah, but I'd say texting is different.
Agreed, I have time to think instead of saying the first thing that comes to mind.
Was that your dog?
Oh, you heard him. I'm actually taking him out on a walk as we speak.
That's nice. Is it cold outside?
You're asking about the weather? This must be a bad cliché.
What else was I supposed to talk about? Your dog.
I think I'll keep details from you about Tadeo.
Seriously?
Yes, say I'll bring him when we go out.
Friday at the park then?
After school sounds good.
I hear my parents in the distance. Guess that's my cue to leave.
Take care, YN. I'll see you soon.
See you soon.